Welcome back to Middle of the Pack. I'm Pip.
And I'm Fax.
We're sorry we had to take a little bit of a week hiatus. Me and Faxon both got hit with a little bit of life. It happens to the best of us, but we're right back in the saddle, ready to talk about some NBA playoffs.
Oh, very much so. And we had some really, really good games and some really good series overall.
Oh, yeah, really excited to get into all of these. So we're just going to go ahead and jump right into it. We're not going to pause for any dramatic effect for this one. We're going to go right into probably the least fun series of the whole round was the Celtics and the Cavs, where the Boston takes that one 4-1.
Yeah, the same exact thing from round one just happened here. Cavs got one on the Celtics and then they just finished the job.
I think I don't quote me on this, but I think we called that one like to a T.
Yeah, I think because they won at home, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so we did. They said they might steal a home game after the first couple, get their bearings back.
Yeah, we missed the mark on a lot of our predictions, but we did nail that one.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's all you need. If you hit 1 out of 4, you can consider yourself an ESPN analyst at that
Oh,
point.
absolutely. I mean, the Celtics are just going to continue their cakewalk that they've got all the way to where they are right now. They take out the Heat. Jimmy Butler's hurt. They go play the Cavs. Donovan Mitchell gets hurt. They're just cakewalking their way through.
Yeah, and I'm starting to think maybe they're putting hits out on those star players or something. Shit, because you getting that amount of luck 2 series in a row is pretty crazy, especially when it was just domination and then any amount of life was immediately shut down from the
Oh yeah,
Cavaliers.
let's go ahead and let's get this trending. Another little bounty gate. You know,
That's right. That's right. And hey, I mean, if Sean Payton can do it, he got away with it for like what? Phew,
a
2 years
long
or
time,
yeah, I was gonna say longer
too
than that
long.
probably. Yeah.
And then
Um.
we go over to what I don't really know if anyone expected, but a crazy ass series with the Knicks and the Pacers.
Yeah. I did not expect that at all because I thought this was gonna be like pretty much the same as the Cavs and Celtics. I thought it was gonna just turn one sided and stay one sided, but that shit went all the way to the end.
Yeah, it was a crazy game seven. Game seven, the Knicks got their ass whooped at home.
Yeah.
And I think I prefaced this in the first episode that we had talking about NBA playoffs. The Pacers score at such a high rate that game seven, they literally broke the playoff record for field goal percentage. They shot 67.1% from the field for the entire game.
Yeah, that was insane. That's all I was thinking about when I was watching that game. I was just sitting there to myself thinking, "Oh damn, Pip was dead on," because once they got going, they just took over and they weren't missing a damn shot. I think
They're
those were
they're
the
a
exact
contagious
words.
team.
Yep.
A couple players start making some crazy shots, and it's contagious. The entire team just doesn't miss anymore.
And I mean, honestly, of all the teams that you don't want to have to play against for the Celtics, that's probably the one right now out of the Pacers or the Knicks because, yeah, the Knicks have their fan base and they kind of had that we've been here for the first time in a while momentum. But if the Pacers get going like they did, that's when it becomes a 50-50 ball game.
Yeah, they're a problem. They come out and have an offensive showcase like that. They are an issue.
Absolutely.
And
I agree.
sadly for the Knicks, they just get hit with more of their ongoing injury bug, and Jalen Brunson fractures his hand.
Yeah, that was like the worst thing that could have possibly happened to them. I mean, Jalen Brunson, he is just consistently carrying that team as far as like the leaderboard goes, just because he doesn't stop and he doesn't really seem to have off games. He's always just consistently good or great. And not having him on the court, just they couldn't pick up the momentum that they needed to come back.
And like I wish I could be one of those guys right now that could sit here and be like, "Oh, it'd have been a different ball game if Jalen Brunson could have finished." But I'm sorry, Knicks fans, you were getting your ass popped all game. Like every time
Yeah,
y'all hit
true.
two or three shots, the Pacers are answering you. You're down consistently 12 to 20 points the entirety of the game. I don't think those last like 8 minutes when you're down 25 points and Jalen Brunson gets hurt, I don't think you can't write the narrative of, oh, it could have been different. Could have been. No, you had the entire game. You're getting smacked all game long on your own court. This is, I don't know if anything would have changed at all.
I mean, that's kind of like what they deserve, though, too, at the end of the day. Because if you remember from the Knicks and Sixers series, Knicks were getting a little cocky up there in Philly, and then they got smashed at their own home court and got sent home 5 miles away.
Yep, they sure did.
You gotta see, you got all the fans at the bar and Target the next day. Jalen Brunson walking around with a splint on his hand. Some fucking fat dude in a Knicks jersey that's going past his knees is giving him the finger and telling him he fucked his team. Yeah, Jalen Brunson's the one playing on the team, so how can he fuck his own team by accidentally getting hurt? New York is a mess, and that is going to be a tough offseason because all of that Knicks fans' hope that was so high probably went back right down to the level it was at before. You're going to
Yeah,
have
but
some optimists.
yeah, they're going to be your diehards. But good news for the Knicks fans. I did read a report today that Jalen Brunson is prepared to sign a 4-year extension. So it's probably going to be upwards of like $160 million. But
Yeah.
it's just good news for the Knicks that he's not going anywhere. He's still going to be good. As long as you retain your key pieces and you got free agency, it's a big free agent class this year. You sign one more key piece. It's rumored every single year that some superstar is going to New York. We've seen it all over headlines for the past fucking 6 years. Eventually, you might hit one.
Yeah, I mean, hey, for all you know, once LeBron hits those 40s or KD's like in his last year before he finally hangs it up, maybe you'll just get one of them and that can give you some sort of false hope.
Maybe we'll see KD post a picture where it's like my next chapter.
A whole promo video.
Yeah, I
Or
can't
maybe just
wait.
like a
We're gonna
shoe
see.
release.
Yeah, we're gonna see KD bounce around again. But don't worry too much, Knicks fans. Unfortunate events with the injury bug. You lost, but you had a good run. Good luck next year. Jalen Brunson will be back. Sign some free agents, and you got nothing to worry about.
Yeah, no. You
But
should
shout
be
out
good.
Tyrese Haliburton. Hell of a game.
Yep, yep. Halliburton had a great game. And I mean, that kind of brings us. Are we going to go to the Celtics Pacers or do you want to go to the West first?
We'll touch Celtics Pacers.
All right. Yeah, because this series, like I just mentioned a little bit earlier, could be interesting. I mean, it's a 1 seed and a 6 seed. So that already looks funky in professional basketball. But with the Pacers, and if Halliburton keeps doing what he's doing, and Miles Turner kind of turns on those little bursts of "fuck you, let me get in the paint and score on your ass" or smack that
And
basketball into oblivion.
Kristaps isn't back yet. So
That too. So you don't have that, yeah, safety net that you might actually need this time against the Pacers. Because
and
before you could survive.
yeah, and the cool thing about this series is they play in like an hour from now. So we'll find out.
Oh yeah,
We'll
and then
find out real quick.
hopefully tonight or early tomorrow morning, you guys will get it. So I guess game one. What are you thinking?
I'm going Boston in game one.
Boston in game one. All right, yeah. I think I'm gonna go Boston too. I think it might start how both of the other series started, where Boston just takes the first one. I don't really know when they might slip up though, because I feel like it's inevitable for them to just drop a game at this point. It's been pretty
Yeah,
consistent.
I don't want to try to go game by game prediction, but I will go that I'm going to go with Boston in 6.
Boston in 6. You know what? I actually like that a lot. Yeah, Boston in 6. Let's call it Boston in 6. I think that they're just too dominant and too put together to lose the series or even really have a crazy series. I think they might get caught slipping a couple of times just because of that Pacers offense that you've been talking about and
Yeah.
how it really just showed. But I don't see Boston losing the series overall.
Yeah, so I'm good with Boston in 6. I might even have to place a little bet on that one.
Hmm. If only.
It's okay. I lost every single bet this weekend. Don't stress about it.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say Georgia. Georgia got to catch up. Help me out. Help a brother out.
Hey man, if I ever think I got a for sure parlay, I got you.
My man.
All
My
right,
man.
we're going to jump on over back to the Western Conference where we have the Thunder and Mavericks, where the number 1 seed Thunder get bounced in 6.
Yeah. Turns out my stupid purely for the fact of Kyrie take ended up helping me out here.
It worked.
It
It worked.
made me look super smart. I was sitting there and I was still doing the same thing I do with any time that I see the Mavericks play, and that's just look for Kyrie highlights to come out, and he still plays beautiful basketball. Nothing changed there, but holy shit, they actually did it. They actually won in 6 too.
They did. A 1 point victory in game 6 takes it.
Yeah, that was crazy. I mean, the Thunder, honestly though, for the Thunder, you can't really have too much to worry about. You guys are still so young and so newly back into the mix of being in the top of the West. So, really you can just kind of keep that momentum going. Don't try to get beat too much or beat up too much by it, and just kind of like get ready because you got guys.
Yeah, and you also own everyone's draft pick for like the next 7 years.
Yeah, there
If
you
you
go.
they can either rebuild and continuously be good for the next 15 years, or if they're like, you know what, we like our core right now, let's go win a fucking championship next year. Start trading some picks. You got like 17 of them.
Yeah, I mean, ball's really in their court at this point based on what they want to do. It's really choose your own adventure because with all those draft picks, they could trade fucking 5 of them and still have 86 left. So they got
And
plenty of
you
wiggle
got a
room.
bunch of your young core right now still on like rookie deals to begin with. Like
Oh my
you're not
God.
in fucking cap hell. You got plenty of cap space. You have plenty of picks. You either continuously build right now and stick with what you got, or they could easily go into win now and just say, you know what, fuck some of these picks. We're taking a superstar in free agency because we can pay them, and let's
Absolutely.
go win.
Yeah.
But
I
too
mean,
bad because they lost.
yeah, they did. And I never said this. I never said this. I want this off the record. But they're kind of like the Texans of the NBA right now. That young team who is good right away and immediately becomes a threat to every other team.
Yeah, yeah, they did.
But I didn't
And
say that
but
shit.
and the yeah, that was probably rough for you to say, huh?
I didn't like it, but that's immediately what I thought of.
Yeah, but at the same time, also in the same case, they were a young team that had a crazy run, but eventually fizzled out. And probably it's honestly due to probably a bunch of inexperience.
Yeah, I mean, when you're going up against guys like Luca and Kyrie, there's really not much you can do, especially when they've been there before and they kind of seen this game before. Playoffs are different. And when you're young dudes going into playoffs for the first time, you're just this group of a bunch of jabronis going in playing badass basketball, but all of a sudden, shoot, the lights come on, and yeah, it can get overwhelming, regardless of who you are if it's brand new to you.
Yeah, the Mavs definitely came into the series just swinging. They were fighting from the beginning, and they continued to fight and outlasted them because they're so young. They don't have experience in situations like this. Mavs do,
Yeah, Mavs do indeed, and they looked good.
and they showed it. They pulled it out. Took Game 5 in OKC, brought it back to Dallas, closed it out, and now they're looking forward to the Western Conference Finals.
The Western Conference Finals indeed, and that brings us to our next game.
Oh, my
The
favorite series.
the series. Yeah, this series was amazing. Denver and Minnesota, what a war, dude.
Yeah, you know, Anthony Michael Jordan Edwards does it again.
I'm saying that's what we were talking about as it was happening. You know, he had his rough first half, and then third quarter he started getting some life in him, and then just became Anthony Edwards in that fourth quarter.
Yeah, but you know, shout out the Wolves because they still held it together when
Oh yeah.
Anthony Edwards was playing bad, and they were even down 20, but they just kept fighting. And you know, I as watching the game, shout out Nas Reed, Sixth man of the year, Nas Reed. There was that patch in the fourth quarter that no one on the Wolves could do shit except Nas Reed just kept clawing and producing, just kept them right in there. And then, eventually star players do what star players do. You can't keep them cold forever.
No.
Anthony Edwards, when it's clutch, you can count on him to hit. They took a timeout and they're still down by like 12. And you see him over there looking at his coach. He's just tapping him on the chest. He's like, I'm going to get in my bag. I'm going to get in my bag. Don't worry. And what do you do? He comes out there and closes it out. From down by 20 to winning by 8 in game 7 in Denver. Crazy.
Seriously, it was an insane series. And, I mean, Cat, even when he was getting his ass handed to him the first half by Jokic, he still, kept pushing. His defense was stellar towards that second half. And then that last dunk off of the missed layup where he just closed the book. Oh, man, I wanted to see that shit in slow-mo.
Yeah, because they closed it out when Rudy Gobert fouled out. Your defensive player of the year fouled out. And you still came in, shut shit down, closed the game. As Jokic said in his interview, they are built to be good at everything. And they are.
And, I mean, with a series I can't believe it just because Denver, every time I've watched Denver this season or even last season in their championship run, they had this perfect habit of just being able to kind of get their bearings back together and then readjust and then go out and finish what they needed to finish. And today it was almost the opposite, where it flipped on itself, where in the first half they had full control, but all of a sudden it was Minnesota who readjusted. Once Minnesota started competing to the level that they're known to be playing at, it just overwhelmed all of Denver, and Jokic couldn't even do anything. And he was still playing pretty decently. He can't do it all.
Yeah, once Minnesota caught their momentum late in that third quarter, beginning of the fourth quarter, I mean, they had to claw back from down a lot. But you could tell, even when they were still down by like 13, 14 points, that momentum is shifting. And it's shifting fast.
Yeah,
And
and more
then
importantly,
it continued to go.
yeah, they didn't show any sign of flinching or anything either. They just stayed on the course. Because a lot of teams, you're going to get overwhelmed with that deficit, and you're never going to be able to come back, but they just stared it right in the face.
They took that sucker punch straight to the mouth and just stood there and looked at him.
Absolutely. And it truly was an awesome series. Just seeing it go back and forth like that, and you just knew it was going to be this fight. Like each team kind of putting their dick on the table every other switch of the lead, and they fought all the way into the end, both of them. So honestly, that was one of the best matchups, if not the best matchup you're going to see in these playoffs, just because of you had two juggernauts just going at each other.
Yeah, and I even love when a nice cocky ass comment ends up working out for the best, because there was a report that came out that Anthony Edwards, when they lost Game 5 in Denver, told the Denver staff, "Don't worry, I'll be back for 7." And he walked right back in there for 7, closed those motherfuckers out on their own home court, and now he's moving on. Jokic gets to go back to his horses where he wants to be anyway.
Yeah, I was gonna say Jokic probably doesn't even give a fuck. He got his third MVP, but didn't get a ring, and the only thing he's thinking about is going back to the stables, going out for a nice
Oh
quiet ride.
no, he has to leave America. Oh no, he doesn't want to be here anyway.
Yeah, that post game interview. Oh man, I want to be like a fly on the wall for some of those, because I bet if you just got like a full uncut version. Hey man, how are you feeling really though? Oh, I'm just happy I go home now. Back to farm.
Horses.
Horse.
But he doesn't get to play the horse team now.
Yeah.
I know he was really excited to play the horse team. Now he can't.
Hey, there's always next year,
But that drives us right into our Western Conference final. The horse team versus the wolf team.
Yes. And I mean, hey, two beasts coming at each other, because this matchup is going to be confusing as shit as to who's home and who's away sometimes because of the color scheme being so damn similar.
Yeah.
But the players in general, the matchup is great. I'm always excited to see Luca and Kyrie out on the court, and Anthony Edwards has the chance to fulfill his destiny and get to that next step, one step closer to kind of cementing the Jordan allegations, I guess, comparisons.
Yeah. I like this matchup a lot, and I do think the key players in this series are going to be the Minnesota big men because
Yeah.
guard wise, both teams match up incredibly well. Because you're either going to have Jaden McDaniels on Kyrie or Luca, and Anthony Edwards is going to be on Kyrie or Luca. Probably Jaden McDaniels on Luca, and on Kyrie. But
Yeah.
I don't. Yeah, the sorry, excuse me. The Dallas is bigs. Derek Lively, Daniel Gafford. They're good quality role playing big men, but they're not to the level of Rudy Gobert and Karl Anthony Towns.
No,
And
not at
even
all.
Minnesota brings Nas Reed off the bench as a forward, either playing the 4 or the 5. That's 6 man of the year, and I'm taking him over their starting bigs 7 days out of the week, 365 days out of the year.
That's right. I mean, I can't help but agree with you there because having those big dudes out there who can make every single play like Rudy Gobert, I was watching him this weekend and the entire time I was watching him out there, I was just like, man, this motherfucker's so long, dude. He is just everywhere. It was kind of like when I was watching whenever anyone's watching Wembanyama, how he's just like everywhere all at once. Rudy Gobert was kind of playing defense like that, where every time I was looking on the court and he was defending, he just looked like he was able to get everywhere in a split second. And I don't think that Dallas is going to be able to keep up with that.
Where he
Definitely
can he
not
can
for all
guard the
seven.
paint and the 3 point line by standing at the free throw line.
There you go. He's like Mr. Fantastic out there. Got fucking
He's
retractable arms, it looks
he's
like.
not a 3 time defensive player of the year for no reason. He
No.
gets a lot of hate. He does, but because they want to bring up stats, Wimby had more blocks this season than Rudy Gobert has in the past 2 seasons. It's like, okay, cool, stats are dope, but watch this man play.
Yeah.
Watch the amount of plays that just get straight up disrupted just because he's around, or him tipping a pass, or just contesting shots that he has no business being able to contest.
And you
He is
can't get
everywhere in the right place at the right time.
yeah. And you can't get stats if they don't pass over to your area ever
Nope.
because they know that you're going to get in there and get that steal, get that rebound, disrupt the shot. So if I'm the other team, I'm not passing where Rudy Gobert is at. I mean, it doesn't matter, but I'm going to try my best to stay away from him as long as I can.
Yeah, I see all the hate when I'm scrolling on Twitter when they announced he won Defensive Player of the Year again, and I was like, okay, y'all are just stat heads. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
you don't know ball or you don't watch ball enough. Because if you watch this man play, he plays the best fundamental defense that I've seen in a very long time for someone that is that large of a human being.
Yeah. And for someone who doesn't really know too much about ball, but watches it at the very least, just watching it in general, you can see the difference. You know, with the Wembenyana, they got time, and they can try to kind of use those veteran tricks on him and things like that, or at least he can get beat sometimes. But with Gobert, he's seen it all as a vet, and like we've been saying this whole time, watch the motherfucker around the court. When he's everywhere and you can't do anything, like Wembenyana's gonna get there. Like he's gonna get his Defensive Player of the Year. Like
He's
those are
probably
gonna
got it on
happen.
lock for like the next 5 years. So
Exactly. So let's like all the stat heads can calm down a little bit. Let Gobert get his credit for the great defensive player he is, and just continue to live your life.
okay, it's time for the uncomfortable question, man. What's your prediction for this series?
Oh man. Well, I mean, before it was easy to just say watch Kyrie dribble, and 95% of the time I would just choose watch Kyrie dribble. But in this case, especially with the big men, I think that the Wolves got this. And who you know what? I think just with the big men alone, I think the Wolves got it in five.
Five, a 4-1 series?
Five. Yeah. I think that the Mavs are going to try to answer, but I think the Wolves are out for blood. I think they want blood. And especially with Ant on your side, this young dude hyping up the guys that much, I think he's trying to cement that he's here and he's not going anywhere. And it's going to look ugly.
I wouldn't be mad at it. I want the Wolves to. Oh, it's foreshadowing another episode, but I want the Wolves to win the finals. Straight up. I want them to win the finals regardless. So for every episode from here on out about the playoffs, I will have Wolves bias all the time.
I mean, hey.
But just also as a basketball fan itself, what I want is a 6 or 7 game series just because I want to watch more.
Yeah.
I want more of these players on the court against each other. I want to see high quality basketball being played more. So I will go. Do I believe it? Maybe not. But Wolves in 6.
Wolves in 6. I mean, hey, you can't go wrong. I think regardless, though,
I
we're on
want
the
7.
same page. Yeah, well, I mean, 7 would be great. But same page as far as the Wolves are taking this one. I think it's their time, and to give anybody hell in the finals against the Celtics, it's got to be the Wolves. Like, they are just that team of destiny from the beginning of the playoffs to now. They are the team who was always supposed to be there and kind of actually challenge these Celtics, who are like an extremely well put together team, like I've said, and firing on all cylinders, even without Kristaps. Like, this has potential to be an amazing finals.
I'm ready for it. I'm ready for it.
Me as well. And with that, we get to move on from the NBA, and we're actually going to go on back into football. Last time we covered the draft, but now
Football.
the schedules have come out. Oh my God. Did you watch the Tuesday night reveal? I didn't. I
Nope.
waited till it went on Twitter because I'm not a psycho. So, for all of you who don't know, the NFL, in all its glory, as it takes over every single aspect of sports, basically whenever it wants to, decided that the schedule release needed to be more an event. So, this included a big reveal, but it also included all 32 teams trying their hand at social media releases as well.
Yeah, a lot of them are really cringy and not a good thing to watch.
No, they weren't. And I'm pulling it up. I'm going to try to pull it up right now, too, because we're going to go through. Pip and I are going to be biased here because we're going to go through our teams. And
Yeah,
we're going to.
because really deep down, fuck all y'all's teams.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I would love all of your teams to just not exist. That way we could just skip into the Super Bowl, leave with the Lombardi. But also,
Yeah, I would take free rings every single year if my team was the only team to exist in football. So good for your team if they're great, but if they're playing mine, I wish they didn't exist.
exactly. And I mean, since they do exist, unfortunately, I would still love nothing more than for us to like stomp on Patrick Mahomes' throat in the AFC Championship game, something cool like that. I don't know. I don't
Yeah,
know.
you go ahead and cover the Colts for all the Colts fans out there.
Alrighty. So for the Colts, we're not gonna do preseason. That's just
Who
practice. That's
cares?
just practice part 2. Yeah, I'll watch the Colts and Bengals because it's on Prime Video. That's really about it. But for game number 1, it is going to be the Colts and Texans. And this is going to be the first test right off the bat. We don't get a chance to ease into the season. We don't get a chance to feel out our division opponents because we got one right away. So right away, it's going to be C.J. Stroud and Anthony Richardson. I'm kind of scared.
You should be.
Yeah, I'm kind of scared, but at the same time, I was talking today at work and I was going over each of our players and I got more excited the more I talked about it. You know, you got Anthony Richardson, you got Jonathan Taylor, who was starting to pick it up after his injury last year and after he got paid. He was starting to
Yeah,
get back to Jonathan Taylor, but now he has a whole offseason of rest. And then on top of that, our receiver core includes Michael Pittman Jr., who's one of the most underrated receivers as far as
agreed.
hands and catch and traffic. And then we got the new boy, Adonai Mitchell, who I've been obsessively watching his college highlights and every mini camp clip that comes out, and I'm very excited to see him. I'm very excited to see Alec Pierce go to the 4th-string wide receiver and stop dropping footballs for us. I can't wait. Our tight end is 6'7". He's a big boy, Jelani Woods. I think I want to see him take more of a primary role, and then Josh Downs in the slot. So we got that for offense, but also C.J. Stroud, Tank Dell, Dalton Schultz,
Stephon Diggs,
uh,
Joe Mixon,
Stephon Diggs, Joe Mixon. So yeah, it's
Nico
gonna be.
Collins,
Oh my God, stop.
Noah Brown.
Well, all right. Noah Brown, Noah Brown was like my 6th-string receiver I needed when my other receivers had a bye. But when he was on the field, he was making plays. I will say that.
Mm-hmm.
So it's gonna
Ohio
be a
State
good
bias.
start.
Sorry, Noah Brown. I love
Oh,
you.
there you go. Yeah. So it's going to be a good start. I mean, I'm excited to see it. And then right after that, we got the Packers, and that's in Green Bay. But I think we're taking out Jordan Love. I don't know. I think it's going to be a coaching battle for that one. Shane Steichen, I believe in Shane. I love Shane. He's amazing. He's my new deity, especially after getting over the Frank Reich virus, which I'm sure you have plenty of experience with now.
Sadly, I do.
Exactly. And then right after that, it's home against the Bears. I don't know. We got to see what Caleb Williams is all about, but that's probably a win too. So we're 3-0 right now. Steelers.
Moving on.
Steelers. Russ, Justin Fields, failed backup and failed starter and failed starter. So it's just like you got a ring like 12 years ago, dude. You're not who you were. That's a win. Jacksonville Jaguars. I'm just gonna say this right now. We're sweeping the Jaguars. That's over. T-Law, you are not who you think you are. You were just an overhyped pick. I'm going to dismantle your team, and you guys are lucky that you just signed a new stadium deal because I was praying to God that you went to London, and I wanted the city of Jacksonville to get chopped off of
So
Florida.
you're still undefeated.
So, yeah, still undefeated so far. Titans, sweeping them too. Will Levis, okay. I mean, Anthony Richardson also played half of the football season, just like you. So, same. That's a win. All right. And I want to be fair. So, we take a loss against the Dolphins. They are fast. Our secondary is not fast. That is the biggest hiccup that we're going to face this year is seeing what our secondary can do because everywhere else on the field, we are honestly looking great. But our secondary is still young, even though it's been 2-3 years for some of them, but also just they cannot keep up. I don't know if anybody can keep up with Odell Beckham Jr. No, I'm just playing. Jalen Waddle, Jalen Waddle, and Tyreek Hill. So that would be our first loss. And you know what? We'll go 0-2. We're going to go on a little bit of a bump. I'll give the Texans 1 just because I know that there's no fan out there that can say thank you because they don't exist. So all you CJ Stroud fans, you can be happy and you get your 1 win. Other than that, next we got the Vikings, JJ McCarthy, system quarterback. System quarterback.
It's
So,
okay. He'll meditate on the field before the game. Don't worry about it.
yeah, he'll get his cheese started, and then we're going to take that shit and cut it right off. Right when the game starts, we're going to make him have to go take a couple mental health days after that game. I'm excited.
I want nothing more than JJ McCarthy to fail. Go ahead and put me at the top of the roster on the JJ McCarthy hate club. I'll be the owner, CEO, founder.
Yeah, and
So if you want to join, you know where I'm at.
that's my brother's team too, so I might actually just join that train with you.
Yeah, it's till I die. It's fuck Michigan. So
I appreciate your loyalty. I appreciate your persistence. You are a servant.
I got you.
Next, we got the Buffalo Bills. I mean, they were going to be something I was worried about last year, and then they went ahead and destroyed their whole team in the offseason. So,
Yeah, their
not
whole
really
wide
worried about
receiver
them.
core is a bunch of wide receiver threes
Yeah.
and a
I
rookie
mean, yeah, rookie. Keon
who
Coleman's
is
a good guy.
hilarious.
I love him. Love him. He's a money saving, shit talking machine, just there to have a good time, happy to be there.
Yeah, he's goofy as fuck.
I know. I love it. I love it. And then after that, we got Aaron Rodgers and the New York Jets. Or, well, sorry. We have Jordan Davis, right? That's Florida State's quarterback?
Yeah,
Yeah, we have Jordan Davis in the New York Jets because Aaron Rodgers won't be on the field after 10 minutes into week 1. So that's a win for us. You know what? I forgot about this one. We'll take a loss to the Lions. Just because the
Okay.
Lions are the tough team in the NFC right now, and I feel like they're going to be clawing towards that second half of the season to absolutely dominate. And I really think they want it. Jared Goff got his extension, so maybe it'll go well, maybe it won't. And then December 1st, we're going to win 63-0 against the New England Patriots. God's most hated franchise and America's most hated franchise. They're a really shitty owner, completely ostracized their coach in the offseason. Their shell of a star, Tom Brady, got his feelings hurt at his own roast that he organized. No surprises there that he cried about
Was
something.
hilarious though.
It was. I loved hearing him get destroyed. And then I also loved it even more when I found out he was upset about it. Buddy, you did the whole thing. You organized it. What did you want?
You did this.
So that's 63-0. And then we got a bye week, so we take a little break, recharge the batteries, and then we go right back into skull fucking Bo Nix in Denver. And then taking Sean Payton home back to retirement, or helping him come up with another excuse as to why his team sucks. Because he doesn't have Drew Brees as a quarterback anymore. And then we go to our second sweep of Tennessee when Will Levis is injured at this point. They have re-signed Ryan Tannehill. And they have found a tall, muscular man to replace Derrick Henry at the running back because their running game has been so bad that they are desperate for anything to try to get any semblance of their memories of the king.
Who'd they bring in at running back?
They got Tyjae Spears, who took maybe 10% of the snaps last year, and they got Tony Pollard, who can run and then stops when it comes to going into the end zone.
I was confused. I was like, who's the tall, muscular man?
Oh, this is a guy they just pulled off the street.
Oh, okay.
They just found someone who's 6'2" and like 240 and just slightly looks like Derrick Henry.
Oh, I was about to say,
Just so
until that
they could-
last part, I didn't know I was suiting up.
Yeah, they might call your name. I mean, shoot,
Hey, Tennessee, just letting you know my 6'2", 230. I'm ready.
Yeah, you can't plan for Pip.
I'm from Nashville, so bring me on in.
That's right. That's right.
Hometown hero, ready to suit up.
Oh, I don't think you want it. I don't know. And then we finish off the season with New York Giants. Daniel Jones is the worst quarterback in the NFL. That's just known. If you don't know it, now you know. You're welcome.
If you don't know, go listen to episode 1. You'll remember.
I won't get into it. I'll get back into it. I'll get angry. Let's move on. Daniel Jones is horrible. Finally, we get the Jacksonville Jaguars, and there's a little bit of PTSD because the last time that we faced the Jacksonville Jaguars in our last game of the season, it was for a playoff spot in which Carson Wentz did his damnedest, and he did succeed of kicking us out of the playoffs. But Jacksonville choked last year. So I guess we have to figure out if this is a back and forth thing, or if they're going to continue to choke, or if we're going to choke. It's going to be a fun game, but I see it as a win. So overall, I think we got a 14-3 season on our hands. Playoffs, let's see, AFC teams. So I'm assuming we'd have to go through probably the Ravens and we'll have a first-round bye. So, yeah, the Ravens and then the Chiefs. Yeah, it looks like a Lombardi this year.
Yeah, is that how you're feeling?
Yeah, I'm thinking so. I mean, that first Anthony Richardson 70-yard bomb that is right in the breadbasket.
It's going to hit like fucking crack in the 80s.
Oh, my God. Whew. Yeah, they're going to have to put Section 8 housing all up on my shit over here. There's going to be an epidemic. But
well, I guess
good.
With how you took your take, I guess I'll follow pursuit. All right, Panthers fans, just letting you know, we up. We're here. Bryce Young, second year. Saw a picture of him today. Bulked up a little bit. Big boy Bryce, inbound. We got the most expensive O-line per cap hit this year. We rebuilt our line. Deontay Johnson came in. X-Man came in. Favorite pick of the entire draft. Love that, man.
Absolutely. Perfect pick.
Brought in Texas's tight end. Brought in Texas's running back. I don't know or I hope the running back starts because I am not a Chuba Hubbard stand. We can he does what he's got to do, but let the rookie get it because he's going to be our guy anyway. But let's get into this schedule, Panthers fans. I know you're going to love it. Week 1, we got the Saints, my wife's favorite team, my division rival. Fuck them.
That's right.
We're going to win. Too easy.
Yep. Fuck Drew Brees.
Next week, we got the Chargers. They got Harbaugh. Hate them. Wash them. W. Big W. We're moving into the garbage franchise of the Las Vegas Raiders.
Oh, man.
Big W. We're 3-0. We've already won more games than we won all last season.
Yeah,
crazy.
That team can't even stay in a city.
No, they can't. So we're already improving on last year just in the first 3 games. We're up, I'm telling you.
Great start.
Then we move into week 4 with the Bengals. They're going to try to do too much. Joe Burrow might just fall over because his line just doesn't know how to block. We're going to win. It's going to be a close one. We're going to win on a game-winning field goal. Call it right now. We're 4-0. Chicago, Caleb Williams, unknown. We don't know. They're a really stacked team everywhere else. But fuck them. We win.
That's right.
No other logic on that. We win. Let me go back into the division to play Atlanta. Perk Thuggins is done. No Perk Thuggins. He's an old man coming off of a season-ending injury. We play Michael Penix in week 6. It ain't gonna happen, Michael. It's not gonna happen. You're not ready. You're not stepping in to play the ongoing freight train of Carolina. You're just not ready for it.
I'm not Xavier Legette is gonna shove you into the ground.
Yeah, you're just not ready. I know your roster is stacked. Got it. But we're winning. The Commanders. Do I even need to speak on the Commanders? Cool. You had a decent offseason. You're still bad. You're almost the worst team in your division, and you have the Giants in your division. Oh, you already talked about Denver. We play them next. Gonna skull drag them. Bo Nix. Fuck them. And back to New Orleans we go. Wash them.
Mardi Gras canceled.
Yeah, they're gonna cancel it. We're gonna beat them so bad. We ain't worried about it. We're taking that.
Hurricane Carolina.
We're coming. And then the next week, we got the Giants, who we just talked about. They suck.
The worst.
And their New Jerseys are hideous.
Ugh. Disgusting.
So, we win. Then we got a bye week. This is where it gets a little difficult.
Oh, man.
We follow our bye week with the Chiefs. We're going to drop that one.
Okay. All right.
We're riding really high. We're undefeated to our bye week, which is week 11.
Yeah.
And then we're just going to come into week 12. We're on our high horse. We're going to get humbled.
Yeah, I was going to say you need some humility. Okay.
That's good. We need it. We're going to get humbled.
Okay. And
then we go to our another division game, Tampa Bay Bucks. We're winning that one. The first one.
Oh.
Yeah, we're gonna split, but we win the first one.
All right.
Then we gotta play Philly. We're dropping that one.
Oh, damn.
I don't wanna. It's my brother's favorite team. I don't want to drop it, but we're probably gonna. It's a really good fucking team. But speaking of their division, the next week we play Dallas. Fuck them.
Fuck Dallas.
Yeah, we're beating Dallas. We almost beat them last year, and we sucked.
You think Zeke's going to score? Fuck no.
No. That's hard for me to say, but no. I just hate Dak Prescott, so we're going to win. Love Micah Parsons, hate Dak, hate the Cowboys. And then we're going to go play Arizona. Psh, whatever. Big win. Big win. Then week 17, Tampa Bay. We're going to drop this one because we caught a little streak again. We need to be humbled before the playoffs.
Okay, that's smart.
We're dropping this one in Tampa Bay.
Okay.
Week 18, last game of the regular season, Atlanta. Beating them.
Done.
Done for.
Out of here.
So I'll see you in the Super Bowl, buddy. Point blank period. I'll see you there.
Yeah, and that's where all the chips are gonna have to fall. That's where it's really gonna count. That's all that we're worried about. You know, he's gonna take care of his conference. I'm gonna take care of my conference, and then Pip and I are just gonna meet there, fly out to where is it this year? I don't even know.
I don't
Fly
remember.
out. Yeah, okay. It doesn't matter. Fly out, pay $5,000 per ticket, $20,000 per ticket. It doesn't matter because our teams are in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, and the podcast is going to pay for it
Exactly.
because we're
And
going to
by
be famous
then,
by then
yeah, I
anyway.
was gonna say by then we'll be world famous. So it'll just be perfect timing.
They'll probably give us tickets, to be honest.
Yeah, actually, we'll probably be announcing the Super Bowl. So just look out for us on the broadcast. Because
Yeah, just wait. We'll be there.
if you think for 1 second that they're gonna choose Tom Brady over Pip and Fax,
Tom Brady, who?
yeah, who the fuck? You mean the guy who cried when someone made fun of his ex-wife? Okay.
About fucking her coach?
Fuck that guy.
So I will see you in the Super Bowl, buddy.
That's right. Sounds like a plan, my man. I can't wait for the competition.
Oh, it'll be great.
With that being said, we are going to move on and let everyone have a great, great week of some great semifinals of the NBA. We're going to be covering all of that next week of what's going on, who's doing what do we think is going to happen. I'm sure there's going to be plenty of more OTAs drama. I'm sorry we didn't cover that today, but we just don't care enough right now. We're not far enough in. But it's going to be exciting. We'll try to get some news for you guys. A little shorter one this week, but we'll get it rolling again. Took that week off. I feel energized. I'm ready to go.
Oh,
I'm
yeah,
ready
I'm
to
motivated,
fight.
man.
That's right. It's going to be a great, great fucking week. So thank y'all for watching. Thank y'all for sharing, liking, whatever you got to do to get this podcast on the map. We appreciate you, regardless of how many of you there are, from 2 to 2,000. Y'all have a
We're here
great
for
week.
all of it, regardless.
Exactly. All right. You want to take us out of here, man?
Yeah, just shout out everybody out there watching our podcast across the country and even our viewers in another country. We're global, baby.
That's right. Shout out Brussels.
Yeah, shout out. But we're always going to be giving y'all the newest updates, our own biased, whatever that might be. But we call ourselves out on it, so it's okay. But we'll be right back with y'all next week, giving you more updates, more bullshit takes, more bullshitting in general. So have a great Memorial Day weekend, everyone, and we will see y'all next week.
Peace.
Peace.